Today I want to share with you how to plan out your quilt. And frankly, I think this is probably the hardest part about doing the t-shirt quilt. So before you start, you need some tools. You need a ruler. You're going to measure your design on each of your quilts. You need a pen, because on the back of your t-shirts, you're going to put the measurement of your design. I like using a sheet, which I have right down here, because I want to make sure, because I'm going to do a lot of math in terms of deciding how I'm going to do this quilt. I want to do that a little bit in the end. I don't want to be doing that. And something that I have found that is very helpful is graph paper. This is my current one. So there are 4 different kinds of ways that I'm going to share with you how you can do a t-shirt quilt. I'm sure there's many more. I'm going to talk to you about 4. The easiest one is doing it where every t-shirt is cut the exact same size. So you pick a width, you pick a length, cut them all the same size. Very easy. So here is an example. I have these different ones. They're all the same size. All cut the same size. Now, if you notice, the width and the length aren't exactly the same size. They don't have to be. But each square is the same size, so that when you go into your graph paper, you say, okay, it's 14 inches across, 12 inches down, however many t-shirts you have, and you have a simple math problem for how wide your quilt is. And if most of your t-shirts are around the same size, this is a very easy thing to do. Now, sometimes your t-shirts are going to be much varying in length, or you have quite a few. If that's the case, you may want to do something a little different. So I'm going to share 2 different ways that you can do those quilts. So for this one, I'm going to do this one in columns. So as I do that, I've cut them all the same width. Now, as you know, these are also the same height as well, and that's okay. If I wanted to, I could very easily trim these down. Now, I also have some others. These are also the same width, and I am just putting them down one below the other and deciding. So these are all pre-cut. These are ones that I've already cut and decided how wide I want them to be. Now, if I wanted to, I could very easily say, you know what? There's a lot of space right here and right here. There's a lot of space on this side. And if I was pressed for space, I could cut down a little bit smaller. I have right here, hold on. So here are these are ones from a sleeve. I've cut them all the same width. You can see that each of these can be then sewn together, one on top of the other, to be able to make a long strip. So right here, notice that when I put it down on my sheet, I have the sheet showing. So when you're doing this one, you can have things showing. Now with the, when you do typically a column, you're welcome to put little strips in the middle. This is called sashing. And that will make your column either longer or shorter. If you don't have a whole lot of room, you can butt these up right against each other. And this will take a whole bunch of extra room away, and you can add more t-shirts in your column, and then just have the sashing that is right here in between. So this is how it would look if you were doing a row. You would simply get the biggest ones that were the widest first, and you would make those your first row, and then you go down until you have your tiny ones. Now notice I don't have all that many tiny ones. If I wanted, I could very easily add some extra fabric. If there is some special fabric, things that you like, you can add some of that fabric down the middle. So this is the column. So with the row, it's also very similar. Show you how I'll do the row one. The row one is the one we are currently working on now. And one of the things that I suggest when you're trying to figure out, so this one I'd already decided how wide things were going to be. With the row one, we had to figure out how wide they were going to be. So the first thing I would suggest, and this is where you need your pen and your ruler, the first thing you want to do is you want to measure the design on your t-shirt. So the design on this t-shirt, and I'm going to do it to the nearest 1/4 inch, is 8 inches by 2 inches. Right? That's closer, yeah. 8 inches by 2 inches. I'm going to turn it over because I know that I'm going to do rows. There were a lot of the t-shirts that were very skinny and a lot of t-shirts that were very tall. So because we had so many t-shirts, upwards of about, 60? We wanted to make sure they all fit. We wanted to make them as tiny as possible to be able to fit them all in. So we were going to do rows. Some of the rows are this big, and some of the rows are up to 16 inches tall. That was 2 inches by 8 inches. And I'm just going to put it 2 by 8. I'm just putting it on the back of the white. This part will very likely be cut off in the end, so it really won't matter. And the reason that you want to measure this is we must have measured these half a dozen times. How tall was that one? How tall was this one? And so this way you can look at the back and you don't need to measure every single time you're trying to figure something out. This one is 2 1/4 by 9 1/4. And I'm just going to sit there, write it on the back. So the next time I need to know and do some math, I don't have to worry about it. So when we were figuring out how to do this, this one, we measured all of them. We put them in order from smallest to biggest, and we started with the smallest in terms of height. And this is where my sheet comes in. Because instead of doing my math, I'm just going to line it up on my sheet all the way over and then fold the end so that I can sort of see how long this is going to be. Now, notice the fold is not exactly on there. You want at least, you're going to have at least 1/4 inch. You can have much more. There's no problem with having more. We just wanted to see how many t-shirts that we could